Marc Maron, who is not America's stepdad, is announcing he's wrapping up his What the F podcast after 16 years. Announcing this, that his influential podcast is now over, concluding in the fall of this year after the run of about 1,600 episodes. 16 years, about 1,000 episodes a year per that ranking. The decision was made jointly by the producer, Brendan McDonald, and stems from a sense of fulfillment and burnout. They've been doing this for a long time. The podcast world is totally different, and what they've been doing has worked. They want to move on to other things. Maron has emphasized that ending the podcast was a mutual, straightforward choice between the co-producers, him and his producer, saying, "We're tired, people. We're burnt out." This was launched in September 2029, if you can think about that, how far ago this was, as a personal project following the cancellation of Maron's radio show. So initially, it was recorded in his garage, but the story was they didn't actually take his keys away from the radio station so he can sneak into the radio station and record stuff. And then he turned it into the podcast recorded in his garage. It evolved into a platform that had long-form interviews with diverse guests, including some really big ones, Robin Williams, Lynn Sheldon, of course. He got a chance to interview President Barack Obama. He is essentially the granddaddy of them all in these long form things. You may think Joe Rogan is the king, and he is, but Marc Maron essentially did this sort of out of literally a necessity, something he needed to do to get some words and things off his chest after he lost his radio show. The impact was recognized in a 2010 episode, specifically featuring Robin Williams, and it was archived by the Library of Congress. This is not just random guys talking for 3 hours. These are things that actually seem to make a difference and are part of our zeitgeist for our public media. Through the run, WTF maintained a consistent schedule, essentially releasing episodes every Monday and Thursday. They did not stop. They basically hit the mark every single week. And Maron and McDonald operated independently, no network backing, all creative freedom was their own. They made things work. The unique voice that was Marc Maron as a radio guy, a comedian and radio guy in the moment, and then turning it into a podcast, you say network of his own, was something that's a big deal. We are going to basically salute the fact that it went this long, but things have to end at some point in time. In the end, Maron says it's okay to end things. It's okay to try and start some other chapters in your life. Basically saying that 16 years of WTF with Marc Maron has been a bit of a chore, and it's time to move on to other things, other projects. There are plenty of other people who can talk for hours to famous people and not so famous people. Why not let him take a rest?